Hey everybody, it's me again, and today I'm going to do a movie review. It was the Disney animated movie from 2002, which that would be Lilo and Stitch. Yep, that's right, I'm going to do a movie review on Lilo and Stitch. So for the plot for this movie, we got the experiment alien named Jumba. There's an experiment 626, aka experiment 626. It's Stitch. He's an alien. Experiment 626 is an alien named Stitch. He's a dog. And then later on, the dog named Stitch, who was trying to escape from outer space and shipped to trying to get to Hawaii. Escape from the outer space from a nasty villain named Captain Guntu. And then later on, Agent Peakley tells us there's another alien named Peakley, played by Kevin McDonald. He was telling Jumba the truth is capturing Stitch was experiment 626 was an experiment 626 was trying to escape from outer space and come back to the earth. Getting into the earth is another state is Hawaii. We'll explain. And then later on, he met this little girl named Lilo, who was trying to teach him hula dancing class with the other little girls, and little Lilo's friends. And then later on, Lilo hits Myrtle. Then later on, Lilo hits Myrtle. And then later on, Lilo is bad. Lilo is a bad kid. Lilo is so grounded. Then Nani learns his. Then Nani learned Lilo a lesson about hitting and biting you, about biting Myrtle from hula dancing class. And then later on, Lilo's sister named Nani. He met young. Then Lilo has a sister named Nani. And then later on, Nani met his Cora Bubbles for the very first time, a social worker. And then Lilo is sad was hitting and biting Myrtle. He was trying to be a good little girl. And then later on, Stitch has an animal shelter. And then later on, Lilo met her dog named Stitch for the very first time. And then later on, Lilo and Stitch wants to be our friendship. And then later on, Peakley and Jumba was trying to catch Stitch and under arrest, captured by the nasty villain named Captain Guntu. And then later on, Lilo, Stitch, and his friends must. Then later on, Lilo, Stitch, Jumba, Peakley, Jumba, and Nani must work together to try and defeated the bad guy. Defeated the bad guy named Captain Guntu. Then Stitch says Captain Guntu gets arrested by the police officer. And then later on, Lilo, Stitch, Peakley, Jumba, and Nani, David, and Cora Bubbles must save the day now, part of their family now. So that's for the plot for this movie. So what do I think of it? Wow, that was an awesome Disney animated movie from 2002. The music is good, voice actor is good, the animation's good, screenplay's good, song's pretty good by Elvis Presley. Winona in 18s. In 18s. Sound effects pretty good. Yeah, the story's good. Sound effects pretty good. And the colors are pretty good. Danoff Chase did a great job voice of Danoff Chase did a great job voice of Lilo. Chris Sanders did a great job voice of Stitch. Kevin McDonald did a great job voice of Peakley. And all the cast members did a great job on this movie as well. And overall, I will give Lilo and Stitch 10 out of 10. Awesome Disney animated movie from 2002. Y'all remember I've watched the first Lilo and Stitch movie on Disney Channel back in 2019, which that was an awesome Disney animated movie from 2002. Along with that includes a direct-to-video sequels like Stitch the movie, which came out in 2003. Also, there's a sequel called Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, which came out in 2005. And also, there's another direct-to-video called Leroy and Stitch, which came out in 2006. Those are great direct-to-video. Those are great Lilo and Stitch direct-to-videos. And those are great Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch was a great sequel was a great direct-to-video sequel from 2005. Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, which that was a great sequel from 2005. I still prefer the first one. The first one is a lot better than Lilo and Stitch direct-to-video sequels, the first one is a lot better than direct-to-video of Lilo and Stitch sequels. So that's my movie review on Lilo and Stitch. So happy 20th anniversary to this movie. Well, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. We'll see you next time. This is me signing off.